Actually, never mind. I think I'll commentate as well, cause like, if you're only there, commentating would be a bit awkward since my mic is on as well.
Hey, yeah, man. If your mic's on, I got you.
Yeah.
We are live right now, right?
I know.
So
I
welcome
know.
in, people. I haven't said anything. We've just been sitting here silent. We got these are the team names. So this is Beans and Rice and Los Peludos. If I say that name right, I have no idea. This is a quarterfinal game, second quarterfinal game to happen. So we're looking for our second spot in the semis here.
Yes, sir.
It's looking based on polls and stuff like that the semis will also be best of 5, probably, but we'll have to see. No decision made on that yet. Just hanging out right now, waiting to get everyone in here. Oh, I guess one, should I be, because I'm used to being the one who's streaming it, should I be sending them the codes and stuff?
Sure.
Yeah. Hold on. I've seen people be worried about this. Does it matter who goes first? I don't think it matters who goes first.
No, it doesn't matter. It's a battle
Okay.
game, so Los Peludos has to join in first.
Okay. We learn new things every day around here. Someone said, Dean, is that you? That is me. I don't know who the opposite is. If you know me, I don't know that username. Good to see you, though. Alright, we got Los Peludos in here now. I'll go ahead and get the other team in here as well. Beans and Rice. I love this name, Beans and Rice.
Yes, that's their name.
It's a great. There's two of them. There's Beans and Rice, and there's Shadow Wizard Monkey Gang. Both real great names.
Okay, perfect. So we can get started. I'll be the one streaming. Dean will commentate. Well, I'll also commentate, but I'm also streaming in crisp 1440p RTX. Yeah.
That's the goal here. Right, let me peek at players real quick, make sure we're all how we're supposed to be. Then we'll get moving.
So those will be our players for today. Blue is Los Peludos and orange is Beans and Rice. Will be a pretty fun game to watch.
We're moving here in like another 60 seconds-ish.
Okay, we can get started by the way. They are all here.
I don't know, I'm checking people out.
Yeah.
Should be all good now. And we get moving. Start of these games, always what I'm looking for is who's using the builder kit. You see G5-2U on orange is using such kit. Who's gonna get to mid first? Obviously use the builder kit, you don't have any gear on you, but you'll be able to get into mid, get a couple diamonds quick. Both teams actually do that, so we have a little fist fight going on at mid. G5-2U, this Orange player is the one who has most of the resources right now. No gear on them, and they're going to get ran up on in mid right now.
Well, it seems we got a fight between Isagi XPT and Telenor A, and Blue is gonna rush already.
Orange is getting Obsidian down, and they don't get it down, that top piece. It is real close, but close is not enough here.
Unfortunately, Telenor A was too quick for them.
Yeah, that is real unfortunate for Orange, because you can see they had all 5, last Obsidian was in hand. But you gotta get that weird shift click to get it on top of the egg, weren't able to do it. Telenor A does also escape. Still a 4v4, no deaths, but... No egg right here is a pretty huge deal. Couple fights going down to middle, 2v2. See, Orange, at least for now, is winning out mid, which is important, because if you're gonna have no egg, you gotta get gear. G5-2 with that gear has a diamond sword. That was the one who was in mid at the beginning earlier, at the expense of Orange's egg. Orange's egg, as it turns out. But with that diamond sword, it should be very doable for Orange to maintain control of mid for a while here. Cold mid goes down. So I need to remember who is who here. Yeah, so Orange is Los Peludos. I had to check real quick because I'm a little silly.
We got 2 oranges here at mid, just collecting resources.
Beans and Rice, blue team, all hung out of their base right now. They do have already a level 3 diamond gen at their base, actually, which is, I'm not sure which player got back and got that set up, but that's pretty big. A lot of diamonds to get to level 3, but once you have it, you don't gotta compete for mid as much anymore. So although Orange does have mid here, I would bet they don't have a diamond gen set up on their base right now. Although they could in a minute. You will still end up with a little bit more gear if you have mid, because obviously in addition you have the 2 gold gens that are upgraded past what your mid one will be at least combined. But we do see Orange back off. Blue, Beans and Rice are back in control of mid. Still no diamond gen for Orange. I want to see if that gets set up, otherwise they're on a limited resource count there.
Orange also already got that iron armor almost ready. Roll of Oriole still wearing chainmail, and Osilla is still in leather, but I think they're getting prepared to counterattack.
Yeah, and it does make a little sense. Blue's playing a little more long game with the generators. Orange doesn't really have much of a reason to play for getting a ton of gear, because, you don't, if you die, you're dead. Egg's gone. They don't need extra sets of iron armor or anything like that. If it was playing Java, you might want to have some backup sets because your armor might break, but you really rarely on Bedrock see fights that last so long that your iron armor breaks, even chain armor. Fights in mid now. Orange should be able to win this pretty handily. Blue's just going to run away. Obviously 3v2 and a pretty enormous gear difference here. Orange is not going to want to pursue on bridges because even a trade will be -1 player for Los Peludos. Kind of as expected with the gear differential, Orange is all in mid. But you go back towards Blue's base, the gear differential has disappeared. Got Awesome Star for Beans and Rice, putting up one of the kind of classic ladder defenses that you see. Would be foiled by a single block of TNT, but must be effective because you see it happen. I've seen that in I think every single Bedrock game I've watched. The ladders on the egg.
I mean, it's a pretty useful thing to put on your defense because you cannot break it easily with any tool. And the only thing you can use to really get it off is just TNT.
Yeah, 100%. So you see that kind of meta, and then you have the counterplay where you'll have a team build up, kind of like Hypixel BedWars style, build up on top and drop TNT. Not that it actually breaks anything relevant, but if you have a efficiency pickaxe, the ladders will actually take pretty much the same amount of time to break as the obsidian will. So in that case, TNT helps you a lot. And it's also just awkward if you're trying to run around and fight a couple people and you get caught on a ladder. It makes life really irritating.
Yeah, that's really awkward.
It's like, it's a pain. You lose your sprint and then you get comboed off, especially on there where the egg's on the big tall part of that island over there. Nothing happening in game right now. Nothing crazy. Just orange at mid, blue, beans and rice not at mid. I like this guy. Username is dbaguette, and there on the team beans and rice. It's pretty awesome.
I don't think they should let them hold mid for so long, because they are getting so many resources at this point, and maybe they could come back.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no competition from blue. Blue's obviously content, I suppose, to hide out with their own base. Level 3 damage in, like I said earlier. But now I only see actually one orange. I'm assuming the rest of them, like you said, did go back and buy gear, which is what happened. 2 orange at their base right now. I'm not sure where the 4th one is. Oh, I see there are 2 back at mid now. I missed someone in transition somewhere.
Okay, they're not coming in.
We just see blue pushing up.
Yep.
2 oranges are missing from mid, so this is just straight up 2v2 right now. But you will expect to see, now that there's fighting, now that we know there's no bows going to happen from mid, I would expect to see blues come to assist and oranges come from their island. That would be if you see an orange coming, you see blue actually just run straight away. So either they got beaten that fight, or they saw a Rollo coming from orange. Their teammates weren't going to get there in time. They backed up a little bit. Rollo has the diamond chestplate. Diamond chestplate, I'd imagine also a sharpness sword. I don't think you'd buy a diamond chestplate before the sharp 5. So Rollo is probably doing a lot of damage here. It's an assumption though. It's no MBT packs like on Java. I can't tell.
We've got 3 fights going on at the same time.
Yeah. Rollo, it's a pretty big combo, wins that fight, at least for the time being. It's going to be a 2v1 on Tulina Ray over here. But Baguette's coming back. You also have, I think this is Seiya, is how you would say that? I'm not sure. Seiya and Cool Mig fighting. You have 2 blues who backed up now. 2 members of Beans and Rice are either at their base or going back to the base. So right now at mid it's a 2v4. Active fight's a 2v3, but you see the 4th orange in the corner over there. Especially with Rollo having so much gear, that's going to make this a little difficult to win here. We have G5-2 hit a leap feathers at blue's base now, at Beans and Rice, but hit a nice clicking there. Good little clutch, but doesn't end up doing too much. 3v1 at the blue base right now against G5-2, and again, orange has no egg, so G5-2 goes down here. It's going to be a 4v3.
This might
Still trying to go for that egg though, not backing up.
Yeah, this might be the only shot at getting their egg. And they won't have it.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah, we'll see if the TNT drop, which does happen. I'd imagine G5-2 has obsidian to block in, and or a solid pickaxe, one of the, either the 25 or the 40 diamond one. It's gonna be hard to get blocked in against 2 people down here. See if it happens. Does drop. Gets hit once and just builds straight back up. And we actually have now cavalry arriving. The entire rest of orange has just pulled up, so this is the more or less the final fight here. I don't think you'll see a situation where orange all backs up. All three oranges drop down. You see G5-2 does get blocked in. Blue's egg is going to go down in a minute. This will be a 4v4 eggless.
Yep, that X.
There it goes. Right now it's just straight up brawl at light blue here, 4v4. 2v1 down at the bottom. Tlina Ray is getting beat up a little bit. Going to try to get back up towards where their teammates are. Drops a sword. Hopefully that wasn't the main one. It was not. I think they just bought a diamond sword. G5-2, a lot of fall damage there. Survives okay.
So far,
G5-2 goes down. Fall damage does happen.
Pretty equal fight. Both teams have been very good at this game.
Yeah, this has been a very, very solid game. You know, game 2 totally could go either way. This game, you see, I was gonna say Beans Rice had the advantage, but Baguette goes down. 3v3 again. Tlina Ray is getting hit hard too. Tlina Ray might go down in a second here. No teammates help. As I say that, both teammates come in. Kind of hard to keep track of what's happening here. So much fighting. You see Isa from Los Peludos is getting 2v1'd a little bit, drops back down. Awesome starts up top gapping, so 3v2 for a little bit. Heard an piece armor break and get replaced. What I said earlier about armor not breaking as much doesn't apply if we're in this little royal crown and everyone's just getting beat up.
One of orange actually got
it does go down. That's huge. I did not see where that kill came from, but Awesome Star gets a kind of enormous kill. Brings it down to a 3v2.
Looks like they're gonna run away. They have no other choice.
Yeah, it was well played from them to get the egg. That was a real solid push. They just weren't able to eke out the PvP. I wish, I don't know if you caught on your stream, I was not able to see what happened with Awesome Star and Seiya on that kill. But
I like how they said
it's a big one.
There was so much fighting that I was like looking up, so at least I could see that one player who actually failed to the void. Yeah, that was a crazy fight.
I'm commentating too. I forgot to say 10 minutes. It's 8 minutes now. Until we got deathmatch. Deathmatch is 20 minutes in.
We got one in the YouTube.
You go tell Austin to set up a bot to say this. That should be not hard.
Darren here said this will be long, and yes, it will be long. 12 minutes in already, and it's only been the first game.
100%. I like having good games though, especially really on both sides, Bedrock and Java. We've had a lot of, because there's no qualifiers or anything, there have been a lot of super, 2-0s in 5 minutes, which is like good for the team that wins, but not super interesting to watch, I don't think. 2v3 is super duper winnable for Los Peludos right here. Not over in any sense right now. What were you gonna say?
So now that we are in the quarterfinals, obviously the best teams, the best 8 teams of the tournament now are competing for that prize. So beyond the stage, we will see high quality games and very interesting fights.
Absolutely. That is what we're looking for, and it looks like we're gonna get one of those. I selfishly hope that whoever wins this game, the other team wins the next one. We get to have a 3-game set. Been pretty rare so far. We'll see if that pans out or not. Got all 3 blues at mid right now. They're buying some perks. Wish I could see what perks they were buying. It would be interesting, but I cannot. Obviously, perk shop is in mid over there. So wherever orange is, they're not going to have
one thing I noticed
direct
in this
access.
tournament is that the teams have not used the perk shop at all. Maybe Team Cuyo in one game, but this will be the second time they actually use the perk shop.
Yeah, I was gonna make a kind of similar comment, honestly, just that it doesn't. Part of that might just be because the games end so fast that no one really stocks any emeralds up. But you are correct; there have not been very many uses of that at all. So I'm interested to see if any of those come into play at all. I don't have a super good idea. I haven't played EggWars myself in long enough that I don't remember. I remember Might Master was the real broken perk, but I'm pretty sure that was removed.
Oh yeah, the Might Master. back in season 2, if you had the Might Master and the Netherite armor, you were practically invincible, and it was really annoying.
Yeah, it was pretty funny to have, but it was very obnoxious to play against. That's the perk I remember being super interesting. I think one of them you get a totem. Totem would be pretty big. Doesn't matter if you get voided, but if that is still a thing. Tilino Ray over at Blue Base is in full diamond right now.
How many minutes till that match?
We're coming up right now on 5.
Oh, right on point. Right.
I was actually halfway through typing it. When we do see a deathmatch, it's been a little while since I think it's been a few weeks honestly since I've hosted a game that a deathmatch. These have been ending so quick. When deathmatch happens, everyone's got to go to the middle. That's basically it. There's no crazy automatic things that happen right now. Eggs get broken, but eggs are already broken. If I'm missing anything, it's basically just you got to go to the middle.
Yes.
One.
Exactly like that.
I'm hoping in future tournaments when we have a little more dev resources, we'll be able to get like the movable world border to squish people in instead of just telling them go to the mid or else. But it does do the job for right now.
What I would like to see is like in EggWars the map destroys inwards. I would like to see that, but in EggWars.
Yeah, for sure. I don't I feel like it would be quite a similar thing, right? You worry a little bit about, you're accidentally breaking shops and gens and stuff, but if you're doing deathmatch, none of that stuff matters anyway, because you're being forced in the mid. See blue pushing back into mid here, looks like they did as orange backed out, so no fights there.
They better hurry up buying all that gear, because the shops will vanish in like 4 minutes.
That they will.
Let's check on orange. Okay, half diamond, half iron, that's great. Okay, might want to turn off the music, it's getting loud.
Three minutes till deathmatch here. That looks like we're just having both teams gear up for deathmatch, which is sensible.
Yeah.
You're gonna get forced in the middle anyway. You don't want to do any crazy pushing when you don't have to.
Might Master is my nightmare. It was. It definitely was. Okay, Tilino Ray is coming to mid. And the rest of the team.
Two other blues behind him.
Yeah.
You see orange is just gonna straight back up. I was hoping for a fight there, but we will have to wait till deathmatch. I'm curious, Juan, any of these games you spectated, something that interests me with deathmatch is, have you seen a deathmatch where like one team's holding mid and one team is pushing into mid? Because I can imagine you're getting forced into mid for deathmatch and you just get bowed off. Is that a thing you see happen?
Oh, I think I did, but in those cases, the team being held off wouldn't be forced to go to mid, like they wouldn't be kicked. But it would still be annoying until something changes.
So you end up with more of a good faith thing where the other team lets them go to mid and then they fight, which is, a little more interesting. You see blue come back. Actually, an array just went and bought something real quick. Got a minute and 20 seconds here. We do see both teams actively at middle, so both teams have pushed up for the first time. Nobody's running. Might not have to force anyone a bit. Official death match is in 1 minute, but I'm not sure it's going to matter too much.
It is gonna matter because the shops will vanish anyways.
That is true, but I guess the perk shop. But if we're all at mid anyway. Proper fighting starts now. We see Rollo got into a little bit of a combo earlier. It's just going to be a 2v1 on Rollo, and Tolino, Ray, and Easter are going to fight.
This
Smart
could
by...
very well be the final fight.
I like this kind of distribution by blue. You see the full diamond player is the one who gets put in the 1v1, and it's just straight up 2v1 on the other fight. Orange is probably going to want to... You see Issa running now. They're probably going to want to mess with that a little bit, try to stay a little together.
Rollo is just running for his life. Okay, yeah.
We got deathmatch here. You see shops are gone, everything like that. Mid is pretty expansive, so it's not too constricting to be in mid. You see Rollo over there is built off one of the side portions of mid. See the 1v1's going over here. Gear advantage obviously toward Tolino, and you see Issa running away. Running towards the backs of the other blues though. Could get a cheeky void here. But I would assume that these teams are in voice chats, obviously. So the blues were warned. Beans and Rice was not taken by surprise there. That was the only way I really see this turning, is some crazy void like that, but don't see it happening. Rollo was just on the run, looking for some opportunity.
Hope they got enough blocks, because they will eventually run out of them.
Yeah, I've seen Tolino Ray, I'm pretty sure, drink a couple strength potions. Full diamond, definitely sharpness sword, strength potion is a very scary prospect. I'm really just watching this Issa and Tolino Ray fight, and then watching Rollo build spam across my screen occasionally. Pants break for Issa, has to pause to put those back on. Got a spare set. Obviously I lied when I was talking about armor breaking. I haven't seen a long enough match where it matters, but it does matter still. You see a cheeky little leap feather from Tolino. Gets in close. Rollo, diamond chestplate, it looks like it's broken. Helmet just broke. See if there's a spare. If there's no spare on Rollo's helmet, they're gonna go down real quick here. Blocks him off, saves himself for the time being, but the time being is over now. Rollo goes down. Well played from Beans and Rice.
Yep.
3v1 in mid now.
I see them.
This is going to be a very difficult thing to win. You see Tolino really pushing. I'd say even right now, Tolino is being a little more aggressive than necessary. Getting close towards this. So you do see that was one of the perks. If you look at Tolino Ray's hand, it is a Totem of Undying. So he's basically only killable through the void, because a Totem of Undying plus having full diamond. I mean,
they surely used their best.
You just needs to go down.
Because they won this game already.
Yeah. Real well played by both teams overall. Beans and Rice got the early egg, and as turns out in a lot of these games, that was the difference. I don't mind it though. I think Los Peludos played that game real well too. That was close all the way to the end there.
Alright, that's
looking forward to game 2 here. Second game, our map is going to be Palace. Kind of funny, you go from Royalty to Palace. Those are two, in name, very similar maps. They do play quite differently, but they do have the similarity where they're both very active mids, if that makes sense. It's not something like Beach where there's very little going on. You're doing a lot.
It's a smaller map overall, and yeah, it should be more active. I think we could see more fights going on in the next round, next game.
On deathmatch breaks both eggs, right? I'm not misremembering there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Someone's asking me that. Yes.
Okay, I'm in.
All right.
Well, this stream is good, but why on 3:30 a.m.? Well, this game is between two North American teams, so had to be at this hour. It is also quite late
Better
for
question
me.
is, why are you watching the stream at 3:30 a.m.? Would you want to go to bed? Maybe that would be a good idea. No, we appreciate everyone around here. Stays Los Peludos first, right? It's based on the team color. Well, that's my assumption. Just like I was going over here, I can see this map. You guys on stream can't yet because Juan is nicely hiding the private game code. But Palace is very different, a lot smaller than Royalty is, the mid-size. But you do still have these little kind of jumping little parkour blocks you can get on to escape. It's still relatively a big mid, and there's a lot going on with staircases and little circles you can run around in mid. So it is still, the map's impactful. Another kind of quirk with Palace is that you only have to build about 10 blocks to get to mid. So both teams will be at mid basically as soon as this game starts. Got Buledros in here waiting for the other team now. So quarterfinals, we are still in a best of 3 here. Beans and Rice is up 1, so Buledros takes this game, we'll go on to a game 3. Otherwise, Beans and Rice takes a game, it'll be over, and they will be in the semifinals. See what goes on here. All 8 people in here. Juan is in as well.
Yes.
So we can get moving here.
Okay, perfect. I guess we could get started.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little courtesy ask, because I always do. Cool. Starting up game 2. Like I said last time, even more so for Palace, because this map is so quick getting to mid. See who gets to mid first. G52 is the builder again for orange. Builds over immediately.
Okay,
You see Beans and Rice, they build over to mid, but they stop at their little sub-mid base there. They don't actually go into the mid-mid, so G52 has free reign right now. Gonna have to back up now, but that's a big advantage to start this game off. Rollo for real hitting kind of a crazy combo on Baguette right there. Very dominant start to that fight. Couple nice 1v1s in mid right now. Issa and Tolino, and then we have Rollo and Baguette over here. Again, you're going to see G52 come back into this fight real quick with at least a diamond sword, and it's going to turn the tide mid a lot. Buledros right now is really just trying to survive until their backup arrives, really. Not let Beans and Rice get too many diamonds. And they are, in fact, winning the mid-fight, even without G52, who arrives now. Half chain. It's an interesting decision to have the chain helmet and no chain pants. I'm not sure what the move is there, but I'm not the player here. There might be some little niche thing I'm missing, or it was just a misclick. Does have the diamond sword though, as expected, so that fight for CubeMig is going to be completely unwinnable. Just going to back up. Try to get a block trap, but it doesn't happen. Pelagos right now just totally dominating mid. Not really too much competition here. So they're going to have gear advantage for a while. You see CubeMig is building over, trying to be sneaky. Gives it up though. On the right little sub-island, building towards orange base. Thinks better of it, it appears. Nothing too crazy to say here, it's just more of the same. We're just chilling. Orange chilling at mid. Blue chilling at not mid. You see Baguette come in, try to sneak some diamonds, but gonna back off as soon as G52 appears because, again, gear diff is significant. I'll bet you Baguette tried to pick up 5 diamonds for the gen, although I might be wrong because they double back. CubeMig somewhere, somehow, dives in the void. Not a kill, just fell over. You see Baguette actually do the same thing, so we are breaking down a little bit on the beans and rice side over here. Tolino Ray does have full iron. But even so, in a 2v1 against a diamond sword and a couple of chain armors, it's going to be a very quick L if they stay in the fight here. Going to try to back up. Pelagos does want this kill because it's a lot of gear you get rid of if you get that kill, but Tolino Ray does get away. Little bar there. Pelagos is really looking towards putting up a game 3 here, it looks like. No early egg breaks like last time. Another point, if you think about compared to the last game, in Pelagos' favor. And they're just, again, Blue, I have to imagine, has some kind of solid gen. It's coming out with a lot of gear over here. Beans and Rice does have a level 3 diamond gen now. They've gotten enough to do that. You saying something, one?
Okay, perfect. Orange is already going to get that egg.
I like it. They know they have a gear advantage for right now. You see it, you know. Beans and Rice has the armor, but you see it especially in the swords. Beans and Rice is rock and stone swords mostly. And it looks like this is a play. Beans and Rice all bail. They're just gonna go straight for Pelagos' egg. They're giving up their own. Goes down. I'm not sure if I like this play because there's not enough space. Not enough time, unless there are no...
I mean, it might be a great tactic if no one else is defending that egg, so no, next for
You do have one though. You have G52, who has, you know, historically been the most geared member of Los Peludos, is here now. He's defending. 2v1 at the sub-mig. CubeMig goes down. This is going to be looking like so far it's going to be a lot more dominant of a game 1, going the other direction. Tolino Ray does get blocked in on the egg, but it's not enough because G52 has a great pickaxe. Baguette's defending him. If Tolino has any type of pickaxe, egg will get broken here, and it does. So Beans and Rice, again, has an opportunity now. It's a 4v3, no eggs. All of them are trying to back up. See, all 4, now 3 members of Pelagos are pursuing. They're going to want to aggro as much as they can because, you know, you have one member of Beans and Rice in leather, the other 2 don't look like they have diamond swords. So they will have a significant PvP advantage for as long as they can be in this fight. But Beans and Rice more than likely is just going to try to escape. You see Baguette does that. Tolino behind him. Might have just sacrificed Awesome Star, this leather player, unless they're able to make a pretty miraculous escape here. Which is possible. Bedrock bridging, you can do a lot of escaping. It doesn't happen though, Awesome Star goes down. So we're at a 4v2 now. It would take a significant choke job or a significant clutch at this point for Beans and Rice to pull this out and win the set here. Anything's possible though. 4v2 is a very large deficit.
my favorite was
Just gonna be a
in the game, but they needed to come back.
They did need it, and this is not even, you know, they don't feel like they're coming back here. They feel like they're just dominating this game. Toledo Ray is getting 4v1 boxed in the orange palace over, or actually in his own palace. Baguette's gonna run up, try to get a bridge kill, but in a 3v1 on that bridge, it's gonna be real tough to get anybody off. And it's just more of the same right now. We're gonna have back to the orange base. Beans and Rice are running again. The reason you see running like this is because the only way a team in this large of a deficit can come back is if you run across a bridge, you whip around and you get a kill off the bridge. Trying to get the enemy in a, you know, more compromising position, but in a 4v2, it's just not likely. If the other team plays well, you're never going to get someone isolated enough that you can get a couple hit combo on them and send them off. Saya goes down there. Baguette, I was expecting the other fight, but that's exactly what I said. You get someone isolated enough, get them off, and now all of a sudden it's a 3v2. We were talking like Pulejo's basically had this in the bag, but they got to finish the game out here. Toledo Ray has a helmet break.
That's not good.
It's not.
And he's off. And he looks
Toledo's
like
off, Baguette's off. You know, I think a lot of us saw that coming. I'm glad. Very well played by Beans and Rice there. Or by Pulejos there. My bad. Well played by both teams, but Pulejos brings it back into a 1-1 tie. Going on to game 3 here. Game 3, we will get to play on... I'm on the wrong channel. Food. Food's a real interesting map.
Entertaining game so far, I agree.
This is one of the more fun ones I've seen. Even though that game was relatively dominant, you still had Beans and Rice get a little bit of a comeback. They got one of the kills they needed. They couldn't get a second one though. If they got 2 like that, then it would be tied up, be close.
We're just getting everything ready for that third and final game.
Like I mentioned, third game is going to be on food. The reason I think food is so interesting, a couple things. It's a very flat mid, more so, you know, a lot easier to get knocked off on than the other 2 maps we've had. Although it's a little picnic table, so you have the kind of supports on the bottom you can land on. But additionally, it is pretty quick to get to, and food starts with 2 level 3 diamond gens. Means someone can run into food if they get there first, run around the little burger in the center, hit both diamond gens, and not quite, but essentially have full iron armor and a diamond sword already. So you see a lot of quick games on food for that reason, because you end up with one person who is just monstrously geared compared to everyone else. I'm excited here. Haven't been too many games, especially on the Bedrock side, where you're looking at this game and you're saying, either team could win. Either team could take this home. This is one of those games. Gonna be a well-deserved semifinal spot for somebody.
I mean, I could pretty much say that maybe the winner of the whole tournament could come out of this match, but that's a big stretch because we have so many other interesting teams from the other bracket, like Team Cuyo, for example, or Shadow Wizard.
I was gonna say, if you say that, you're gonna have some Kuyo fans, some Shadow Wizard fans who are upset at you for saying that, but 100% possible. Waiting for our teams to get in here. Waiting on Bulejos right now.
We're still waiting for the teams to show up, by the way. Oh, there
we go. That took a little bit of a while there. Now we can get beans and rice in, then we'll start up here. We're getting some lag or something. I was gonna say, I don't know why everyone's taking so long to join this game. Everyone is in now. Should be good to go. All right, we move. Match 3. Winner take all right now. 1-1 set. Winner moves on to the semifinals. Loser goes home. Simple as that. Food. Gotta see who gets these diamond gems in the middle first. Looks like blue messed up the bridge a little bit or something. So G52 gets the bridge over to mid but comes back. So you're gonna have beans and rice, it looks like. Plano Ray gets one of the generators. So the way this map might not be so volatile as if you have something like this where now one team got at least the starter diamonds. Tolino got one set of the gems, Rolo got the other set. So it's even for right now, but you have Bulejos on mid, beans and rice not on mid. And again, 2 level 3 gens, so this mid is going to be hugely important early game. You'll have the gear advantage if you have mid for 45 seconds. If even that. We had a player switch, interestingly, for Beans and Rice. You see the Leslie 81013 was not in either of these 2 original games. They are on the roster. You can do that. But it is something you don't see super often. Someone probably had to go. Looks like Awesome Star is not in the game any longer. See if that makes any difference here. Little sub. See Tolina Ray at mid now with a little bit of gear. Not a diamond sword. I would have expected that because they were the one to get the diamonds, but they might have gotten a gen instead. G5-2, I'm not sure why building a big old sky bridge to their own base. I'm interested, Juan, do you know, did they move the... This is just a Bedrock universal thing, right? That the egg is on the ground instead of in the soup bowl on top?
Oh yeah, that's
because it used to be up there with ladders, and it was like very irritating on Java to get up there, but it's probably just worse on Bedrock if it were up there. Get knocked off all the time on those ladders. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Was even for a moment in mid, but you have Isa for Pelagios' full iron diamond sword, scaring other people off. And I would bet you everyone having Obsidian orange, Pelagios will be perfectly happy to push Beans and Rice back and just hold on to this mid, get all this gold, all these diamonds. Beans and Rice is at a level 3 gen at their own base, but Orange has their own base and 2 level 3 diamond generators, and a couple level 4 gold generators at mid as well, so. No gen at Orange base right now, so scratch that, they haven't upgraded it yet, but again, they don't need to if they're holding both at mid. See, Rolla was doing a little bit of a build over, make a little bridge up to Beans and Rice's base, but nothing comes from that right now, they back off. So at least for the moment, Beans and Rice is content to play this game at their own base. Which again, it's not a total extreme disadvantage. They have a level 4 gold gen of their own. They basically have half of mid at their base. Which means they're not going to be, you know, destroyed. They'll have enough gear to fight, but it's still going to be a disadvantage when you come to the more expensive things. You might see Pelagios with Ender Pearls, or these 40 diamond high efficiency pickaxes, the Sharp 5 swords, things like that that are more expensive. And obviously you have some emeralds dropping in mid too in case you want to get perks, but that hasn't come up too much in the early game here. Two members of Pelagios right now, Rollo and G52, are above the blue egg. Gonna drop in. Rollo drops in, G52 drops in as well. Tries to get blocked in, gets stopped by CubeCraft. A lot of building now. You see Isa drop in as well. Leslie goes down. Any other blues go down here, it's going to be real tough to defend, especially see G52 is all but fully blocked in there. That takes 2 more blocks. G52 does get blocked in, only with Terracotta though. You see Leslie with the miner kit, or just a pickaxe that they bought, is able to get G52 broken out of there. Not for long though, G52 gets back in, breaks 1 piece of obsidian. Leslie goes down again, no armor there, so that's not a big deal. G52 in that little hole they have 1 piece of obsidian broken, are going to try to block themselves in again. Not enough comp, it looks like they're going to get a second piece. Egg goes down. Great plays by everyone here, really. Rollo and G52 drop in initially. They get back up from Isa and they're able to get a couple kills, get the egg down. Coolmid goes down. I would expect if Leslie hasn't fled, they will go down as well because they don't have anything. See if they're able to get to the bridge. They are not. So we have 1 person. We have Baguette at mid and we have Tillina Ray fighting for their life at Beans and Rice's base. Only 2 members left. You see G52 leave in pursuit of Baguette is the alive one over here. Baguette's just gunning straight for Pelagios' base. No one there. As long as they have a reasonable pickaxe, they'll be able to get the egg. They do. It was not an efficiency pickaxe, but it was enough nonetheless. Gonna be getting 2v1 though. Baguette almost gets knocked off. Little clutch there, well played, but is not enough. Almost got it, almost got a 4-block extension, got 3. And at the same time, Chilena Ray goes down Isa. Again, this set, man, real well played by both teams. End of the day, you have a comeback. Pelagios loses the first game. They take the next 2 in a lot more dominant fashion than the first one was. And we end up here, 2-1. Well played by both teams. Beans and Rice had a couple great games. I would not be upset if I were them at all. But Pelagos will be advancing to the semifinals here. They will play the winner of Team Kuyo and Krifos. I don't know how you say that name. Those two teams will play at, I think right now, an undetermined time. It'll be in the calendar when that match gets settled. Winner of those will play in the semis. You have the Slayers against the winner of Shadow Wizard Monkey Gang and Battle Heroes in the semis as well. Championship game from there. Seen today. Have some good games. It's going to be a pretty fun rush this tournament. Hope to see lots of people there. Maybe at a better time than this, but North America is North America. It's a great time for me, living in California over here. Anything to add, Juan?
So, it's been a really, really fun game to watch. Really interesting. Any of them could have won. And in the end, it had to be Los Peludos. Great job and coming back from that 0-1 in the royalty.
Seriously, and you could kind of feel it a little bit. I think they were even in royalty. They were PvPing really well. Like they got their egg broken at the beginning of that game. I've seen that happen a couple times actually, where a team loses their egg just right off the start of the game, and they have to come back. And you see them, even though they end up losing that match, they were winning the PvP most of the game. They go into the next game saying, you know what, this game, I'm not. We're not going to let our egg get broken off spawn, focus on defense a little more, and they end up winning the game from there. So that's what happens with Game 2 and Game 3. Fun times.
And that's just how they
go.
Win, and they got the semis, and well, we hope to see more fights like those in the next matches. And yeah.
Coming back from a 2-1 there, being in danger, and then maybe they go on to win it. That'd be pretty huge. I gotta go finish up some more of my schoolwork here. Right. Good to see everyone. Good to talk with you, Juan. Hope everyone has a good night / morning / whatever this terrible time is for anyone.
It's 3 o'clock here.
Have a good one. Go to bed.
Yeah, I'll do.